Hello, everybody. It is the second last day of August. I almost said last because it's really that close to September. It's crazy to think that school starts next week and the kids go back. As always, I have started my new trend, which I am using my author incubator mug. With my hot water, lemon, apple cider vinegar, and cinnamon. So actually what I want to do today is just, good morning, Joanna, is quickly go over some tips and tools that you can do to clear. Like, think about this, you guys. We have just come out of a pretty, well, Monday, we come out of a very intense, energetic few weeks. So I really wanted to give you guys a tool that will help cleanse not only your house, but your space, your person, your vibe, everything. I want you all vibing. That's my vibing. Really amazingly when we come out of Mercury retrograde next week. So I thought this would be a really fun way for us to like reset ourselves and our houses after all this intensive like self-work. So one of the ways that I just wanted to talk about is I'm going to be showing you 3 different options for saging your home and yourself. What? Because sage is freaking awesome. So I'm going to, looks like I'm doing bad things, illegal things, but I'm not, I swear. I want to introduce you to my lovely sage stick. As you can see, my sage stick has had some use and some love over the ways that I've used it. I actually get all my sage from the Willow Den in St. Catharines. Now, it's just the store that I use. Any spiritual store will have anything. If you get crystals, and you know where you can get crystals, you will probably find sage as well. So this is the sage stick that I've used for multiple years. It does last a really long time. This is the big gun. This is for when you want to actually clear your entire house from top to bottom. What I do is I light the tip of my sage stick so that it starts smoking. Now, when you're going around, if there's a negative energy or energy that isn't serving, right, one of the things that you're going to notice is that the sage stick will actually smoke more. So if you're going around room to room and you notice that it all of a sudden seems like it's smoking more than it did in a previous room, chances are it's because there's stored energy in that room that needs to be cleared. So what I do when I'm doing my big house clearing is I start in the basement and I go from room to room, corner to corner. And as I'm waving my sage stick up in the corner of each room, I say, please remove any negative thoughts, feelings, and emotions that are stored in this house, and please fill it with, and then you guys can insert anything that you want to fill your space with. Love and abundance, love, joy, and vibrancy. Whatever it is that you want to be calling into your space as you're pulling out the negative energy, room to room, corner to corner. I come up my basement stairs, I make sure I open the back door, and I push the negative thoughts, feelings, and emotions out my back door. Right? So all of that stored energy, all that energy that was being held gets sent directly outside where it can be transmuted on all planes. Now I do the same thing to my upstairs, is where I go from room to room to room. I say, please remove all negative thoughts, feelings, and emotions from this house, corner to corner, corner to corner, room to room. Good morning. And then when I open up my front door, again, I expel that negative thoughts, feelings, and emotions from my house. What it does is it makes your house smell like pizza, y'all. So it's not a bad smell. It's just a very, very, like spaghetti and pizza, right? But it's, again, just making sure that if there's stored energy. I'm going to tell you a story about this smudge stick. So when my husband and I got together 5 years ago, we decided that we were going to put both our houses up for sale. His had been up for a couple months and was not selling. Mine was up for like a couple weeks and sold. And we were in a bit of a like, oh my God, what are we going to do? Because I'd only lived at my house for 3 years. Our collateral was coming from his house. So I went over with this smudge stick. I smudged his house and placed some rose quartz in his kitchen and in his bedroom, wink, wink, to spread some love energy in. And we had an offer within a couple days. So just to give you an example. Now, I got to tell you, too, that was a very, like, it was a lot of stored energy from being in a house where they had both, like, him and his partner had divorced from that house. And so there was a lot of energy. And it really, really, I could feel it when I emptied his house. And like I said, 2 months on the market, within a few days, it had its first offer just by me smudging it. Now, if you were thinking about personal smudging, right? So you can grab just a bag of loose sage. This is what I utilize when I'm having a bath and I want to clear myself. So I'll place something like this into an ashtray, I will light it, and then the smoke that's coming up, I will push it over my body, asking for clearing of all my energy, my chakras. You know, I release all negative thoughts, feelings, and emotions from my body, from my person, so that I can be calling in, vibrancy, abundance, whatever it is that you need in this moment in time. Those are the things that you're going to be wanting to call in. If you follow this up with a beautiful Himalayan salt bath or a salt bath of any kind, maybe you put some delightful, what are those called? Why can't I speak English? Anyone can throw this up and it would be awesome. You put some essential oil drops in. That's the word I was trying to get. And again, this is only going making sure that you're not only clearing the physical body, but the spiritual and all the health. You're making yourself as light and free as possible by doing these things, guys. Now, one of the things that I do in a quick fix, so if there's energy that gets, thank you, Fiona. If there's anything that goes, if somebody comes into your house or, you can just feel the energy shift in a moment. I tend to do it on Sundays. I call it Smudge Sundays in my living room. And that is, you can just get a sage incense stick. It is a quick, easy, effective if you don't want to do the full gamut with your sage stick around the house. You can just burn an incense as well. And what this is going to do is it's going to allow the energy in a particular room. Sometimes I do it in my studio space because there's a lot of energy exchange that goes on in my studio. So I just will burn an incense. I did one yesterday just to really, again, lighten up and release any negative thoughts, feelings, and emotions that are carried in this space. I remember when I did the vagina monologues in February, which I thoroughly miss my vagina girls. I just want you guys to know that. I think about you guys all the time if you ever watch these videos. And before we went on stage, we were, I forget whose stick it was. I know Laura Hughes, might have been Laura Hughes. But we smudged each other before getting on the stage for the vagina monologues. Do you know how freeing that felt? So this is really just a very, very specific way that you guys can clear energy that you feel is in your house. If it's something about yourself, if you're just feeling a little blocked or a little bit low or fatigued, saging yourself is a spectacular way to lift that vibration for yourself. And again, if you're having any quick, immediate ways that you want to just clear a room, you know this feeling, you know when you walk into a room and you kind of go If you're having a room that feels like that, just grab some sage incense, light it up, and let that energy, the smoke, clear any of the vibrations that aren't serving anyone in your house. Maybe I should do one of these on crystals one day as well. Maybe, because I have a whole bunch all over my desk that you guys can't see. But yeah, so this is just a very, very quick, easy, effective way to change the vibration and energy of your personal self and your space. If you have any questions about this, clearly I would love to answer them all. I also want to just send a shout out to those who would be interested in I'm putting together my book launch team for the Magical Business Method over the weekend. So I'll put a post up today as well, but if anyone is interested in being the first to receive this book, which is really about breaking the status quo, about creating a business that energetically lights you up from home by clearing out the energy that isn't serving you so that you can totally love the energy that is. Hi, Kim. Thanks, Joanna. Then absolutely, I would love that. Guys, thank you so much for coming to Tea with Tamara with me every single Wednesday. I've got a special new series starting next Wednesday, which will be all about coming fully into your body so that you are living in the presence of your own self. And that will, in fact, change a lot of components. So next week, there'll be a 3-part series starting again. That will tie back to my original program called Becoming Me. And so I really look forward to sharing that with you guys starting next week. But in the meantime, after Mercury retrograde, make sure you smudge yourself in your house so that you are clear and full of loving and exuberant energy moving into next week. Woo! School starts. Woo! We're at a Mercury retrograde. Woo! There's so much love coming next week. Big hearts, big love. You guys are ridiculous. I love you all so much. Happy Wednesday!